Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Train Hard, Recover Smart podcast. I am your host, Thomas Flanagan. Check it out. Today, I want to talk. I want to talk about food. Let's talk about food. Um, in today's episode, I'm going to give you some meal prep ideas, and then I'm going to tell you how to grocery shop. Well, not tell you, but I'm going to give you some ideas on how to effectively grocery shop. So, let's start off with some meal prep ideas. All right. So when it comes to meal prepping, all right, first thing and foremost, you gotta plan your meals. Can't just say you can't wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this." You got to plan them out. Create. You can do weekly. You can do every 3 days, whatever your schedule allows you to do. For myself, I like to plan out 3 days worth of meals. So on Sunday, I cook. You know, I grocery shop and I cook for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then come Wednesday, I cook for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sundays, Sundays I kind of, you know, whatever's left over is what I do. So I plan my meals out ahead of time. I kind of, map it out. Hey, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have some chicken, I just plan out what I'm going to eat. Okay. That's the first thing. And then, as I said, batch cooking. Batch cooking is perfect. That's where I spend my Sundays and Wednesdays cooking food. That's all I do. Well, it's one of the things I do, but I do a lot of other stuff. But choose a day of the week. Some people they choose Sundays. Sundays usually works for me. But again, I do 2 days a week I cook. So my schedule allows me to, do Sundays and do Wednesdays. By doing this, you can, batch cook your stuff. Like, I use the crock pot. I'll throw 3 or 4 chicken breasts in there. I'll cook it for, anywhere from 5 to 6 hours, take it out, shred it up. And that shredded chicken right there is gonna give me at least, 3, 4, maybe 5 meals out of it, depending on what I'm gonna make it with. So, and then I'll cook up some ground beef, a couple pounds of ground beef, a couple pounds of ground turkey, and that there is going to cover all my meals I need for the next 3, 4 days. Okay. But again, you can do really big bulk, and then you can actually sit and cook everything and put them into containers and, have everything set up for you. Okay. Now, the next thing is you want to use versatile ingredients. As I was saying, like I batch cook my grilled chicken or my chicken breast, my ground beef, my ground turkey, my ground chicken, all that stuff. I batch cook it. An example would be, you cook up some grilled chicken on the grill. It's nice and warm outside. Everybody's got the barbecues going, so you cook up some grilled chicken. Now that chicken can be used for salads, for wraps, stir fries, sandwiches. And while you got the grill going, why don't you roast up some vegetables, and then batch cook some quinoa and brown rice. All those are versatile components can easily incorporate into different meals. Okay. Now, as I said, you want to invest in some quality food storage containers, all right? You don't want to buy the cheap ones. You want to get some really good ones. Glass containers often prefer as they're safe for reheating and don't retain odors easy. They don't retain odors. Ensure that the containers are portion size to make grabbing meals easy. So again, if you're going to get a big one, you get like a standard one. You want to be able, that's enough for one meal. You put your proteins, your carbs, and your fats or your vegetables, whatever you put in there, whatever you're baking for your meal. That's gonna be one meal. All right. Now, with your containers, you want to make sure that they're microwave safe and freezer friendly. Okay. Now we're getting ready to cook. We want to pre-cut and prep your ingredients. Save time by prepping your ingredients in advance. Wash and chop your vegetables, marinate your meats, cook your grains ahead of time. This way you'll have everything ready to go when it's time to cook or assemble your meals. All right. So again, on Sunday, as I'm cooking my chickens, my ground beef, my ground turkey, whatever I'm cooking, slicing up some onions, slicing up some peppers, and I put those in containers. So then when it comes time to cook that meal for the night, now all I got to do is just take out the frying pan, fry up the onions, do whatever I'm going to do with what ingredients I've prepared ahead of time. So it makes it a lot easier and quicker, especially if you have a busy schedule. All right. So proper storage and labeling. You know, this is another big thing. Store prepped ingredients and meals properly to maintain freshness and prevent spoilage. You want to label the containers with the name of the dish and the date it was prepared to ensure you use them within the safe time frame. This is key. Okay. So by labeling it, you know what's in there. You know, especially if you're making the meal and putting it in the container and setting it aside for a different day. You know, you again labeling it just helps with pulling it out, especially if there's more than if you're feeding more than one person in the house. Okay. Date it. You want to date it to again make sure that you're eating it when it's not bad. All right. Because again, if you wait too long to eat it, it could make you sick. And then we don't want that. Okay. Now, when it comes to freezing, you want to freeze individual portions. So if you're meal prepping for a long period, consider freezing individual portions. This allows to have a variety of meals available and extends the shelf life. Just make sure you properly label and date the containers. Again, we go back to that. So if you cook up some chicken breast, and you grill them, and you put a few in the freezer in a vacuum sealed bag or in a good container, write the date that you put them in there. After about a week or so, they're not going to be really good. They're going to kind of get freezer burn. Depending on the container, it could last a little longer, maybe not. But again, individual portions. So if you cook up 4 chicken breasts, put each chicken breast in its own container. This way here, you're not pulling out all 4, defrosting all 4, and then refreezing. Just do individual portion size. Okay. So you're going to mix and match. Keep things interesting by prepping components that can be mixed and matched. For example, let's see, cook a variety of protein, grains, and vegetables separately, and then combine them in different ways throughout the week to create different meals. Again, you cook up some grilled chicken that can go on salads, wraps, sandwiches, can go on a bunch of stuff. And then you prep your greens, your grains or your carbs. If you're going to do quinoa, you can cook up that. You can get a rice cooker and cook up all your rice for the week. And vegetables, cut them up, prep them, cut them up, put them in portion sizes for yourself. And then this way here, you can, mix and match your meals all week. It adds variety. So it's not the same boring stuff over and over and over again. Okay. Next one. This is my favorite. Take advantage of your slow cookers and your pressure cookers. I love my crock pot. My crock pot is awesome. Actually, while I'm doing this podcast, I actually have in my crock pot 2 chicken breasts that I'm cooking up right now. They should be done within the hour. And then I'm going to shred them up. I'm going to shred up the chicken, and that's going to be my meals for the next couple of days. It's going to give me about 2-3 meals. But again, slow cookers allow you to, you can prepare stews, soups, shredded meats, as I'm doing, with minimal effort. Pressure cookers like Instapot can quickly cook your grains, your beans, and tougher cuts of meat. So, like a rice cooker. Those are great. You can put in rice for, again, 4 or 5 meals, cook it all up, portion it out into your containers, and you'll be really good. All right. Take advantage of those, because those there, I put that chicken in this morning at about 10 o'clock before I left to go work with my morning clients. And it'll be done cooking around 4. So I've been able to do a whole bunch of stuff while that's been cooking. All right. Now, next thing is you want to prep your snacks. Don't forget about, you want snacks. You can prep your breakfast. Overnight oats are great. Smoothie packs are awesome. So if you could prep snacks and prep your breakfast, that's great. You can prepare grab and go snacks like cut up fruits, vegetable sticks. I'm not a big fan of hummus, but hummus is, it's a good thing. And pre-portioned trail mix. For breakfast, consider, like I said, overnight oats, chai pudding, or prepping smoothie packs with pre-measured ingredients. For my smoothie packs, I usually buy the ones that are already separated individual serving packages from the store, from the frozen food. Those those are what my go-to are. But again, if you like the fresh fruit and everything like that, go ahead and cut it up, portion it out into your sizes. So when you get up in the morning, it's just dump it into the blender, blend it up, and then you're gone. All right. So those are 10 things right there to help you with meal prep. All right. You want to plan your meals. You want to batch cook. You want to pick versatile ingredients. You want to invest in good quality storage containers. You want to pre-cut and prep your ingredients. You want to proper storage and labeling of the food after you're done cooking it. You want to freeze individual portions, not bulk. Make stuff that can be mixed and matched. Take advantage of your slow cookers and your pressure cookers, and prepare snacks and breakfasts. Okay. Now, those are your meal prep. Okay. That's how you meal prep. Now, let's talk about the grocery store. Let's talk about the stuff that we're going to cook. Okay. To grocery shop for a healthy diet, you have to make conscious choices and select nutritious foods. All right. So I'm going to give you some tips again on how to attack the grocery store. All right. Again, we're going back to the meal prep ideas. First one off the bat, plan your meals ahead of time. Before you head out to that store, plan those meals for the week. This way, you can create a shopping list and ensure you have all the ingredients for nutritious meals. All right. Again, you can't go into this without a plan. Can't just go to the store and say, oh, I just want. No, because when you start doing that, that's when you start buying other stuff that you really don't need. Okay. So make your shopping list. Write down the items you need based on your meal plan. Organize the list according to different sections of the store to save time and minimize impulse purchases. Okay. Now, this next one, I didn't believe it until I went to the store with a nutritionist and she proved it to me. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Everything on the outside of the store is everything that is good for you. When you start going up and down those aisles, that's when things get bad. Okay. The perimeter of the grocery store, that's typically where you'll find your fresh produce, your lean meat, your seafood, your dairy, and your whole grains. Focus on putting that stuff in your cart. All right. Those are the nutritious options. You start going up and down those aisles, that's where everything, that's not the best for you is being kept. Okay. You want to include a variety of fruits and vegetables. As they teach in precision nutrition, eat the rainbow. The more color on your plate, the better it is. Aim for, to include a wide range of colorful fruits and vegetables in your cart. All right. Those are packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Choose fresh options when available, but frozen and canned options without added sugars or sodium are good. For myself, I can't eat many fresh vegetables, or I can't eat a lot of them. So I tend to buy more canned veggies, just because, I have a hard time digesting and the raw vegetables. But buying canned vegetables, I always make sure I buy the ones that are stored in water. Okay. So the next one, opt for lean protein. When you're looking at proteins, lean sources such as skinless poultry, fish, lean cuts of meat, tofu, beans, and lentils. Those options are lower in saturated fats and provide important nutrients. Okay. So again, when you're looking at your meats, find stuff that's not too fatty. And I usually, for my ground beef, I usually get the 90-10 or the 93-7. Every once in a while I'll get 80-20, depending on the price. Now, again, a lot of this is going to be based off economic, structure. What can you afford to do? But you can shop on a budget and you can shop healthy. You just maybe you just gotta, work around it a little bit. Okay. Shop around, do stuff like that. But again, when looking at lean meats, you want to get stuff that's, lower in the fat range. So when you're looking at cuts of meat, make sure there's not a lot of fat on it. Pick stuff that's a little more lean. All right. Whole grains, quinoa, brown rice, whole wheat bread, and oats, rich in fiber, rich in nutrients. They can help sustain energy and promote, good digestive health. All right. For rice, what I do is I buy the individually packaged rice, the 1 cup already. I get them. I pick mine up from like Walmart or Price Chopper or whatever your grocery store that you go to. You can probably find them. They're really good. They're already measured out. It's already 1 cup. You pull the lid off. You throw it in the microwave for a minute. Your rice is done. That's how I meal prep my grains. Is I do that, and then there's a wide range of different ones that they sell. They have jasmine, brown rice, and quinoa, brown rice, wild rice. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to that. But again, you want to shop for the whole grains. Again, you want to go with the quinoa, the brown rice, and oats. Now be cautious of packaged food. Processed and packaged foods often contain added sugars, unhealthy fats, and they're high in sodium. All right. Read the food label carefully and choose options with minimal additives and ingredients you recognize. Okay. So the cautious, packaged foods, that's the stuff that's up and down the aisles. Granted, on the outside, you're going to see the already cut deli meat. You're going to see, all that stuff on the outside of the store. So again, when it comes to that, read the label, which I will, we'll go over that after we're done with these on how to read the label properly. Okay. Limit sugary beverages, water. Did I say water? Water. Unsweetened teas or naturally flavored water instead of like soda, fruit, or any fruit juices or any drinks. Those drinks often contain high amount of added sugars and provide empty calories. I'll tell you right now, my Achilles heel is diet soda. I don't know why, but I used to drink a lot of it. I've now switched over to, if you're watching me on YouTube, I drank bubbly. It's sparkling water. The one I have here in my hand is a mango flavored. This is what I drink. This here is helping me break my diet soda. Sorry, watch this trying to talk to me. My diet soda habit. Okay. So I've been drinking these. They're really good. There's really nothing in it. It has carbonated water with a natural flavor. Those are 2 ingredients. No sugars, so it's not too bad. But again, it's breaking my diet soda habit. Okay. Next one is you want to check your food labels. Pay attention to the labels on the food. All right. Look at items with lower amounts of saturated fat, trans fat, sodium, and added sugars. Also beware of portion size to avoid overconsumption. That's where everybody seems to make the mistake. And yes, I did before I started, before somebody taught me. I'd look at the label, oh, 260 calories, great. And I eat the whole box. Well, there's 6 servings. I just, 266. It's a lot of calories. All right. So pay attention to the serving size. Pay attention to, you want stuff that's lower in saturated fat, lower in trans fat, and sodium. All right. Now you want to shop mindfully. Avoid shopping when you're hungry. Okay. As this can lead to impulse purchases of unhealthy snacks. All right. Usually, so when I do go to the grocery store, I usually go after about 30 minutes after I've eaten. This way here, I feel full and I can shop and not many impulse buys. All right. Take your time, read labels, make thoughtful choices to prioritize your health. Okay. Take your time. Again, you're going to have a grocery list. If you're short on time, just go in, hit the grocery list and get out. Right. In today's modern world, we have other ways to avoid impulse buying. I use Instacart a lot. Instacart is awesome. I can grocery shop right from my house. I can stand in my kitchen with my phone open and grocery shop and order all my food, and somebody delivers it to me. This way here, I'm not wasting, if I have a lot of stuff going on, I'm not spending an hour or so at the grocery store. I'm not waiting in the lines. I'm just not wasting time. multitask. I can spend 20 minutes in my kitchen, grocery shop the stuff I need, and then get back to doing stuff that I like to do, like this, like educating you on how to improve your healthy lifestyle. Okay. Now, all right. So, real quick tips for grocery shopping: plan your meals, have a shopping list, shop the perimeter of the store, a variety of fruit and vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, cautious of packaged foods, limit your sugary beverages, check food labels, and shop mindfully. All right. Those are the 10 tips on how to grocery shop for a healthy diet. Okay. Now, let's talk about that food label. Okay. I'm gonna go over a few things to help you understand on how to read a food label. All right. Start with the serving size. Check the serving size listed at the top of the label. All the information on the label includes calories, nutrients, is based on this serving size. Be mindful of the portion size you can consume to ensure accurate nutritional intake. So again, when you look at something, it could say, it could say 260 calories. Great. But if there's 4 servings in that container, you can't, if you eat the whole thing, it's well over 800 calories, you know? So, be mindful of, that's the first thing you should look at is the serving size. So it says this has 4 servings of 1 cup. Then you know that everything else that you're going to read is based off of 1 cup. And now that 1 container is 4 servings. So that's four meals. 4 meals you can eat. Okay. Now, the next thing is we're going to look at the calories. The calorie count tells you how much energy you'll get from consuming 1 serving of food. Consider your daily caloric need and adjust your portions. Okay. Yes, a calorie is energy. Okay. What you eat, your body transfers into energy so you can breathe, you can function, you can do things. That's what food is. Food is energy. All right. So that's what a calorie is. Calorie is energy. All right. So you want to look at how many calories are in that serving. All right. Now, after we look at the calories, now we want to look at the macronutrients. All right. We want to look at the fats, the saturated fats, the trans fats, the cholesterol, the sodium, the carbohydrates, the fiber, the sugar, and the protein. Those are the things that you really need to look at. I know it's a lot. Okay. It is. It's a lot. But by looking at these and understanding what each one is will help you in the long run. Okay. So when you look at the fats, look for foods low in saturated and trans fat. Okay. Instead, choose sources of healthy fats like unsaturated fats. Unsaturated fats are found in nuts, seeds, avocados, and oils. Okay. So we want to stay away from saturated and trans and look at more unsaturated fats. Okay. Now, cholesterol. Okay. On the label, aim for foods that are low. The American Heart Association suggests, I think it is, keep the daily intake to under 300 milligrams. Okay. Okay. So again, when looking at that, keep track. If you track your food on like MyFitnessPal or any other type of food tracking app, you can set your limits and it'll tell you if you've gone over or not. Okay. Next thing is we want to look at sodium. Okay. You want to limit the intake of sodium to maintain healthy blood pressure. Foods with lower sodium content, you want to opt for those. Try to stay below. It's 23, about, I think right around that 2,300 milligrams per day. Okay. Next one is carbs. Focus on complex carbs like whole grains, fiber-rich foods. Limit foods high in added sugars and refined carbs. Okay. So again, when you're looking at it underneath, total carbohydrates, it should show you what the fiber is and what the total sugar is and what the added sugar is. You want stuff that doesn't have a lot of the added or the refined sugars. You want to find stuff that's hot, has more fiber in it. So if you're doing like keto, and keto is, you look for the net carbs. What net carbs is you take the total number of carbohydrates and you subtract off the number of fiber, how much fiber is in there, and that gives you the net carbs. Okay. So again, high fiber, you know, you want fiber rich foods, and you want to limit the added sugars. Okay. Now with fiber, you want stuff that's high in fiber. Fiber is what keeps our digestive system going, and that's what's going to make you feel full longer. Okay. Now, when you look at the sugars, again, as I said before, try to avoid and limit foods with added sugars. Beware that sugar can have various names on food labels. So check for ingredients like corn syrup, fructose, sucrose, and others. All right. If it has that stuff in it, stay away from it. Okay. Now, when it comes to protein, choose foods with a good amount of protein. Protein is essential for building and repairing your muscles. So if you do a lot of strength training, you want to have a lot of protein. Okay. Now let's talk about the ingredients list. Okay. The ingredient list provides information that's in the food. It tells you. Now, I just learned as I was doing my research for today's podcast, I learned that the ingredients are listed in descending order by weight, with the most abundant ingredient listed first. Again, when I was researching today's podcast, that's the first time I that's when I learned this. I didn't know that. So this was really interesting to me. Okay. When you look at whole and unprocessed foods at the top of the list, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean meats, that's what you want to look for. You want to look for whole, unprocessed foods. Should be at the top of the list. Okay. Be cautious of ingredients like artificial additives, preservatives, and high fructose corn syrup. If the ingredient list is long and includes items you don't recognize or can't pronounce, it may indicate that the product is highly processed. A nutritionist, she once told me that the smaller the ingredients list, the better it is for you. Okay. So take that into account. So again, when you're assessing the ingredient list, the ingredients are listed. The ingredient list provides information about the contents of the food. Ingredients are listed in descending order by weight, with the most abundant ingredient listed first. Okay. So you want to look for whole unprocessed foods at the top of the list. Be cautious with the ingredients like artificial additives. And if the ingredient list is long and you can't pronounce half of it, it's probably highly processed. Okay. So by understanding the food label, you can identify and avoid certain components that may be detrimental to your health. Here are some things that, I'm going to give you some more tips on things to watch out for. Okay. Artificial trans fat. Trans fat raises the bad cholesterol levels and lowers good. Avoid foods that contain hydrogenate or partially hydrogenate oil. Yes, I know I can't spell or I can't talk. You want to avoid things with added sugars. High consumption of added sugars can contribute to weight gain. It can increase your risk of chronic diseases and dental problems. Be wary of foods with added sugars, syrups, and sweeteners. Okay. Sodium. Excessive sodium intake can contribute to high blood pressure and other health issues. Limit the foods high in sodium and opt for low sodium alternatives. Okay. Artificial additives. Some artificial additives, such as artificial coloring, flavors, and preservatives, have been associated with adverse health effects. Opt for foods with minimal artificial additives and choose natural additives. Okay. So when looking at the food label, first and foremost, look at the serving size. Then look at the calories per serve for what the calories are for each serving. Check your macronutrients, your fats, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbs, fiber, sugar, protein. Those are the macronutrients that you want to look at on the label. Okay. Then again, you want to access the ingredient list. Okay. You want to look for whole unprocessed foods at the top of the list. Okay. Avoid artificial additives and look at how long the ingredient list is. And if you can pronounce everything in there, then more power to you. But half the time when you look at that list, there's stuff in there that you have no idea what it is or you can't pronounce it. Okay. Now, other things to watch out for is artificial trans fats, added sugars, sodium, okay, and artificial additives. All right. So in today's podcast, I covered a lot. So I'm just going to do a real quick sum up for you. All right. Meal prepping. Meal prepping is key. This is where you start. Okay. Again, I attack today's podcast with starting with your meal prep. Okay. When you start with your meal prep, then we go to the grocery store, then we're good. Okay. So with meal prepping, the 10 things I went over with meal prepping: plan the meal, batch cook, versatile ingredients, quality food storage containers, pre-cut and prep ingredients, proper storage and labeling, freeze individual portions, make stuff that you can mix and match, take advantage of your slow cookers and your pressure cookers, prep your snacks and your breakfast. Okay. Those were the 10 things I went over when it comes to meal prep. Now, when it came to grocery shopping, the 10 things that I covered, the 10 tips I gave you for grocery shopping: plan your meals, make a shopping list, shop the perimeter of the store, include a variety of fruits and vegetables, opt for lean proteins, choose whole grains, be cautious of packaged foods, limit sugary beverages, check your food label, and shop mindfully. Now, when it comes to the food label, the things I went over is start with the serving size, then look at the calories, then check your macronutrients, okay? Assess the ingredient list, and then other things to watch out for: artificial trans fat, added sugars, sodium, and artificial additives, okay? That's everything. Today was very, very informative. I hope you got a lot out of it. I do ask you to support the show. If you found that you like things and it was helpful to you, please share it. Have other people listen to it. If you want to donate to the show, donations can be from $3 to $10. For every dollar, every dollar that's donated, it's going to be used to help a service member or a veteran organization. Okay. That's what the money's going to be used for. That's all I ask. None of it's going to be sent to anywhere but to help service members and to help veterans alike. So if you want to donate to that cause, please do. I will put the link in the description of today's podcast. We are on YouTube. So if you want to see me talk on the screen, you can go to our YouTube channel. It's the Train Hard, Recover Smart. Out there, we have every episode of the podcast is out there. I have a couple of video testimonials from clients that you can check out too. Okay. Feel free if you want me to cover a topic that you need more information on or you need some advice on. You can reply or comment to one of the podcasts on YouTube. You can send me an email at tnrfitness@tnrfit.com. And when I get them, I'll look at them, and I will try to do a whole episode on something that, you want a little more information on. Okay. So again, everybody, if you want to donate and help out a service member or a veteran, please donate. I will put the link in the description. If there's another topic that you want to talk about, again, you can comment or email me. But hey, another episode down. We're doing pretty good. So if you want to check us out on YouTube, check me out on YouTube. But yeah, that's about it. So, as always, be better than you were yesterday and make sure you're training hard and recovering smart. All right. And you guys all have a great day.